Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title, this is the very awaited, the very prolonged Joey school update. I just want to say that what I'm going to put in this video, I do not want you guys to think that I am a doctor, that I know everything, because I don't. But I know my child, so everything I'm telling you is what I know of my child and how he performs, acts, is, and who he is as an individual. I also want to disclaim that Joey is a very shy child. You guys don't see it in the videos because I think he's just in his comfort zone with me and Chris, but Joey is a very, very shy child. He's extremely shy, and because he's extremely shy, a lot of people don't really realize how smart Joey is. So most of the time people see Joey and they don't think he's up to par or where he actually is. He's very intelligent. I will say that he's very intelligent. Does he use it all the time? No, but I was the same way. I still am the same way. I have a lot of brains, but I don't use them. So let's jump into Joey's school update. I started recording this on my other camera and then the battery died because I talked too long. But anyways, I'm going to try to remember what I said in that video and put it in this one and then put it up. So I know back in September, I believe it was, I don't even know if I'm for sure, I didn't really check through my videos, I'll have to go back and check, but I did an update on Joey and how he was doing in school. I think it was like the beginning of September, like once he started school, middle of September, I don't know, whenever it was, I did an update, I believe, on how he was doing in school, and I told you guys he was doing really well. He's been adjusting to kids very well. I didn't know how he would adjust to other kids because he's never been around more than like 5 or 6 kids at a time. We've never really put him in anything where he was with a large amount of kids. So when he went to school, I assumed that he would be very shy with school, and that I kind of expected because he's never been one for large crowds. But from my understanding and what I thought, he was doing really well. He was adjusting to the kids very well, and he was. He's a very social little boy when it comes to kids. He loves kids. He loves older kids and younger kids, but they have to be kids. So in October, in the beginning of October, the school did pretty much entry-level testing to find out where all the kids were placed, and so they could figure out which kids needed more help and which kids were on par, and you know what kids needed to be ready for kindergarten, especially Joey because he was going into kindergarten next year. So they did this testing and they ran the test 3 times with Joey. The first test was done by his main teacher, the second test was done by his classroom assistant, and the third test was done by another teacher from a different school, but she was younger. She was around mine and Chris's age. And they ran the 3 tests, and all 3 times Joey had failed the test. With his 2 teachers, with his one teacher he failed, but not to the same degree as what he failed with the other 2. The last teacher, the teacher from out of the school, he tanked it, like literally tanked it, did not talk to her, and that was one of the things that they said when I met with them in October was, don't let these results scare you, because if it makes you feel any better, he wasn't talking to us. We've literally had to probe him so many times to get these answers that, you know, I don't feel that this is really where he's at. And they were so concerned that I'd be so upset, that I'd be just completely heartbroken that my child, if you go by this test, my child is very delayed. You know, he's very behind where he needed to be. And I'm not gonna lie, the first thought that came to my mind is, out of all of this, what am I responsible for? What, as a parent, did I not do right to get him ready for this point here? And truly, there's nothing that I did or didn't do that would have prepared him any more than he was. So they ran this test, showed us the results, or showed me, they actually talked to me. They were very timid to talk to Chris about him because most, and sorry to any fathers that are watching this, but 9 out of 10 times fathers don't know how to respond to hearing that their child, especially their son, is behind. For some odd reason, it doesn't settle well. And I don't know why, but they wanted to talk to me. They talked to me. We went over it. We talked about it. So what they wanted to do is they wanted to have us sign papers for somebody out of pretty much out of school district to come and evaluate Joey, to do a special type of evaluation on Joey. It was a early prevention, pretty much early learning prevention for Joey. And so we signed the papers. We said, okay, this is fine. They can come test him. That'd be great. Because one, I know Joey. I know Joey like the back of my hand. He is a very smart little boy. He can read. He can do puzzles in a matter of seconds. Like, he is a smart little boy. But I also know that he is extremely, extremely shy. Very, very shy. I know this from when he was little. When he was little, like baby little, if we were around large groups of people, he would clam up. He didn't want anyone else besides me. He wanted to be attached to me, and that's where he was comfortable. He did not want anyone else. When we moved back here, and like friends were coming in and they were coming to see us and they were coming to see Joey wanted to talk to them. He would act up. He wanted to be close to Chris and I. Like, that's where he wanted to be, was with us. So I knew that this was a possibility. I knew that him being excessively and extremely shy as he is, that this was a possibility. But for them to sit there and go, well, he might be delayed, it kind of just hit harder. And, you know, I was like, okay, I gotta push harder to, you know, get him on par. So Joey went through this evaluation with the early prevention people in the beginning of January. He went at the end of December, beginning of January. Went through the testing, and their staff does one test with Joey, and through that testing he failed. But even their prompter said he didn't fail by much. He failed by, in the physical part, he failed by, I believe it was 1 point or 1 to 5 points, and that puts him in the failing point. And the other part, which is the cognitive part, he failed by 1 to 5 points as well. And what that means is he's not delayed, he's just selective, is what they said. He's very selective of when he does stuff and, you know, how he responds. So they ran the test with Joey, with them, and then they ran the test again with Chris. And the only part that didn't change much, and it's not a huge deal, is Joey, for the life of him, cannot catch a ball. Cannot catch a ball at all whatsoever. It just does not have the eye-hand coordination to do it at all. So when they did this test, they did it twice. Like I said, they did one with their staff and one with Chris. He passed with Chris. With Chris, he passed. With their staff, again, he failed, but not as bad as he tanked with his teachers. So they did tell us that he would have therapists coming out with him, and some of the things they would be working on him with. So physical therapist was working on him with, you know, catching and throwing and stacking and building and that kind of stuff. My child can build blocks. I have no fear in that at all. And then they had a cognitive therapist that was coming out, and she was going to work with him and enhance him in communicating with people, and she was going to work with him with scissors and I don't know, all this stuff. Like, they literally, it's upstairs, there's a bunch of papers, and it's mumble jumble of what it says. But he was gonna have therapists come out. They were gonna come to the school. One was gonna come once a week, and one was gonna come once a month. The physical therapist only came once a month. So Joey went through these therapists throughout the rest of the school year, and I'm not gonna lie, there's no difference in him. He still doesn't talk. He's a very extremely shy kid, and he still can't catch a ball. I don't think he'll ever catch a ball. I mean, maybe when he's a little older and he's matured enough, he will, but right now, doesn't care for it. Doesn't care. So, but throughout the school year, what I started doing is, as you guys know, I started teaching Joey stuff at home. I taught him how to read. I taught him how to count, to write, to spell his name, to, what else did I teach him? I taught him all these things. So when Joey started doing this stuff, as you guys know, I record everything for YouTube anyway. So I started recording stuff, and I would take it in to show the school, to show his teachers. I'm like, look, he's reading. No, he's not. yes, he is. He can read. And I showed them the video. Back in May, his school went on a field trip, and I went with them. The day of his field trip, I had him sit down and I had him read. But I made sure that the teacher wasn't close enough where he could see her, and she finally saw him read, and she's like, he's never done that before. He's never sat down and read for us. So he read for them. They saw that he could read. He started writing. He started all this stuff for them. He finally got to the point where he was comfortable with them enough where he showed them, hey, look, I am smart. I just don't show you otherwise. But because I had these videos to prove that, look, Joey can do this stuff, it was another story. It was like, okay, well, he doesn't show that here. What is here that isn't, what's there that isn't here? And the only difference is Chris and I are home, and he's more comfortable with us. So my opinion on this, and it's something I brought to everyone's attention, is I think Joey has social anxiety. Not to a degree where he needs medicine or he needs, to go see an actual, pediatric therapist to, talk this anxiety out. He just has social anxiety where he's smart enough to go through school. He's just not comfortable enough to talk to people. He'll talk to kids every day. He loves kids. He loves kids that are his age and a little older. It's just adults. Adults kind of freak him out, and I'm completely okay with that. So I think he has social anxiety, and I think it's something that he can control. And I feel that with me doing the things that I'm doing with him at home, he's gonna succeed. It's just I have to help him take those skills we're learning at home and apply them to school. So when Joey graduated from preschool, one of the things that his teacher told us is that they wanted to continue the therapy with him throughout the summer and the next school year to help him. Because I'm not seeing a difference in him with the therapy, we stopped the summer sessions because they were just, it was just a waste of time. It really was. The kids that were at these therapy sessions, they were so far behind that Joey looked like a genius to compare to them, and it wasn't helping him because they would focus on these other kids and not focus on Joey. So we stopped doing the summer sessions. He'll still get sessions during school, but if I don't see a vast improvement or I'm not seeing an improvement, I'm not going to keep doing it. His speech is very well. He does speak very well. Obviously, he doesn't speak, grammatically correct, but what 5-year-old does. But you can understand him. He is very clear. He pronounces stuff correctly, but again, sentences aren't grammatically correct, but that's fine. I just feel that, like I said, that his social adaptation is just, he has social anxiety, and that's why he falls in that spectrum he does. But like I said, he's a very smart little boy, very smart. He's just extremely shy, and that holds him back from showing his true intelligence. If you guys have gone through something like this, or you have any questions, or maybe your child is experiencing some things that you're kind of concerned about, feel free to reach out to me. I've been to a couple of his therapy sessions. Chris has been to a couple of them. Not saying that I'm a pro or I'm a doctor or I can tell you, but we can definitely talk about this. And especially if you're one of those parents that just, your child is starting these things and you're having those feelings of, what did I do wrong? I want to be there for you, to support you, to let you know that you didn't do anything wrong. Because I sit here and I think about it day in and day out, and I'm like, what did I do that made Joey like this? Why is he socially shy? Is it something I did? Is it something I didn't do? Should I have let him experience more child interaction? Should I have left him with people? Because it's not kids. It's not kids, it's adults. And I can't blame him for not trusting people. So that is Joey's school update. Finally, it is done. It is up. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, or maybe you have some helpful tips, how can I get Joey to be more socially involved? If you have any ideas, please leave them in the comment section below. If you have any questions for me, please leave those in the comment section below. Otherwise, I will see you guys again soon for another video. Bye guys!